So, hey there, welcome to Hey There, the podcast. I'm your host, Captain Equine, and today we have 4 segments. The first segment is Quizators, where I invite a guest onto the podcast to answer questions from this month's quiz. The second segment is Stallrest Stuff, where we go over things that you can do with your horse while they're in stall rest. The third segment is Yay or Neigh, where I share viewer stories with the audience. The fourth segment is Meant to Be, where we go over cute little romancy things to do with your horse on Valentine's Day. Let's get right on into it. Let's start with Quizators. Quizators is where I invite a special guest onto the podcast and they answered the questions from this month's community quiz. Match your answers with the special guest, Audrey Christie.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. We're going to start with question 1. How old was the oldest horse? 62, 59, 32, or 29?
Ooh, I'm going to say 59 because I personally know of horses older than 32.
The answer is 62.
Ooh, got me. By 3 years.
Yeah. What was the first horse movie ever made? The Horse in Motion, National Velvet, The Thoroughbred, and Black Beauty.
That's a tough one. So I am terrible at pop culture. I could not, a famous person, I don't know. I can't even name a famous person. Could walk right up to me, shake my hand, introduce themselves, and I would still be like, okay, hi, nice to meet you. I have no idea. I'm terrible at this. But if I had to guess, I'm going to say Black Beauty.
The answer is The Horse in Motion.
Okay. I'm failing the equine quiz.
How tall is the tallest horse? 21 and a half hands, 18 and 1/4 hands, 19 hands, or 20 hands?
It's got to be the 21.
Correct.
Woohoo!
How do you measure horses? Feet, hands, or centimeters?
With your heart. Hands. Definitely hands.
Okay. What does a horse symbolize? Travel and adventure, beauty and grace, freedom and independence.
Ooh, to me or in symbolism?
I don't know. What is it?
I'm going to say freedom and independence.
It was a poll, so everybody is correct. So, Audrey, where else can we find you?
So you can come hang out with me in my TikTok community, and that is at Audrey_Christie. You could listen to the Equine Energy Medicine podcast on any podcast player, anywhere you get your podcast. And you can find me at equineenergymed.com. Thanks for coming on to Quizators, Audrey. Sorry. No worries. My pleasure.
Let's move right on to the next segment, Stallrest Stuff. So, we're going to go over some things that you can do with your horse while they're in stall rest. The first thing you can do is toys. Toys are a huge thing. We had this thoroughbred captain that was stuck in a stall for a long time, and we got him all sorts of toys. Ones that they boop with their nose, roll over, and treats fall out. Little miniature hay bags for him to get hay out of. We even made a couple out of old milk cartons and the such. It's a really easy way to give your horse that engagement, that thinking power while they're stuck inside of a stall. Another thing you can do is Liberty. I have a couple videos on my channel of me doing Liberty and a couple teaching Liberty if you're interested after the explanation. And Liberty is where you're giving your horse a choice on what they want to do. So if you ask them to lead with you, they can choose to come or they can choose to not. And it's your job to make them doing what you ask the really, really important thing to them. The thing that they want to do always. Now, sometimes it won't work. Sometimes it'll be, they won't want to do it. But that's okay. It's part of Liberty. It's part of learning with your horse. There's a lot of things you can do whether your horse is in motion or if your horse can't move. So if your horse is in motion, it's moving around, it's just sick, or maybe it hurt its ear, it lost its eye, things like that, you can teach them leading, station, manners, targeting, face targeting, all those different things. Fist bump. I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but all of those are things that you can teach your horse to give them something to do while they're stuck in a stall. If your horse cannot move, one of the things you can teach them is station, where they have to stay in one spot. You can teach them targeting, face targeting. Fist bump might be, but that one's that you really want your horse to know the 4 basics before you teach him that one. You won't be able to teach him leading, but that's an easy skill to teach, so you can just get right into it after your horse is healed. Now that's it for Stallrest Stuff. Let's get right into yay or nay. Nobody submitted any videos for this month, so while I'm out here in the barn, I'm going to share some videos from my own personal barn. So let's start with Mac. Mac is a colt that I got 9 months ago, or he's not a colt anymore if you checked out the most recent video on Mac. I'm training him completely with Liberty, but he will be able to do every single thing a person, or a horse is trained to do without using the same methods that people use. So he'll start under saddle. I won't be getting on him until he's 5, but he'll start under saddle the moment we get our round pin. And he's just the sweetest boy. My sister calls him Pancake because, as she claims, his brain is flat. It's not. It's beautiful. But that's Mac. Moving right on to Atlas, my barrel horse. He's being trained with Liberty as well, but he's also mainly being kept as my barrel horse. Liberty is really the thing that we use to sort of keep bonding and to have fun with him. It's never really been, like with some of my other Liberty horses, something that I do as his main training. Now, does that mean if he got really good and when he gets older, I won't start doing more Liberty with him and that be his main thing? No. But for now, he's only 20 and he's still running strong, so why would I stop when we have a good thing going? That's him sighing in the background. Now, Loki is a 16-year-old quarter horse. His name's Loki, so you can sort of guess what his personality is. He's one of my Liberty horses as well, but he is mainly doing Liberty until he is finished rehabbed. Then we'll start him back under saddle using horsemanship, or a horsemanship method. Sorry about that. My mom wanted to know why I was just sitting in the bench on the barn without really doing anything with horses. So back to Loki. He'll be starting under saddle soon, the moment he gets out of rehab. I used to have him as a barrel horse, but whenever we found out he had, I think it's called kissing spine, we ended up having to get a new horse for me to run barrels on. Let's move on to Odin. So Odin is a rescue horse. We got him at one of those kill pen type of things. We originally went there for him, but ended up coming home with 2 horses, Ollie and him. He's very scared all the time, and we're slowly working through those fears. He's going to be a completely Liberty horse, similar to Mac, except for he's already had some typical method training. So I'm currently working on transitioning him into being more comfortable with me being more comfortable with my family, as well as getting him legged up and ready to ride under horsemanship and eventually Liberty. And that's really all there is for yay or nay. Hope y'all enjoyed this segment. Let's move right on into Meant to Be. So I'm really excited about this segment because these are things that I want to do this Valentine's, and I think y'all should try it out too. One of the things you can do is have a barrel pattern shaped in a heart. You can do it with poles. If you're an English writer, you could even do it with jumps. It doesn't matter. But arrange it in like a heart, maybe in a cute symbol. I don't know, but arrange it and just run it. You can do all sorts of fun things. Maybe put an extra pink bow or braid up your horse's hair before you start riding. It's really fun to just do a day where you sort of theme it a little. Now, another thing you can do is have a Valentine's photo shoot. Just paint your nails pink. Paint your nails pink, braid your hair, braid your horse's hair with ribbons in it. Just do cute things and have a nice little photo shoot. Another thing you can do is go on an especially beautiful trail. If you have any that are covered in the most beautiful trees you can see, have beautiful skylines, lakes, mountains, hills, it doesn't matter. But any of those things would be absolutely gorgeous, and I can't think of anything more amazing to do on a Valentine's Day than be on a beautiful trail. Whether you're doing this with your date or whether you're doing this alone, maybe with some friends, it does not matter. It's just a wonderful idea to go and do. Another thing you can do is do watercolor portraits of your horse. Now, if you're not an artist, this might not be for you, but I'll include another craft in a second. But just sit there and sketch your horse, paint your horse, do all sorts of fun things. just drawing you, yourself, your horse, and a paintbrush. Another thing you can do that's sort of crafty is make a little stall sign for your horse. So just get a small piece of wood, leave places to nail it into the wall if it's your own barn. If it isn't, leave places for you to tie rope onto so you can hang it. And then get out your prettiest paints. Maybe you have markers, I don't know, watercolor, it doesn't matter, and just paint a beautiful thing of either your horse's name, maybe a pretty scene that made you name your horse. I don't know. I can't really think of anything else. Oh, okay. I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head, but just do something that can symbolize your horse or is your horse's name. Another thing you can do is have a picnic with your horse. Now this one can get a little bit messy, but just do something and make sure it's safe as well. Just by the way, this can be dangerous if you don't do it correctly, so this one people might want to opt out of. But get carrots, apples, maybe bring some alfalfa and hay over just for a special treat for your horse. Make treats for them, buy treats, and just spread it out on a table. Have your lunch while your horse is enjoying some snacks. And just, it's rather funny to watch a horse eat snacks out of a paper plate, which I do recommend not bringing out any glass. That does not seem very smart. But yeah, that's going to be all from Mint to Be. I hope y'all enjoyed Hey There, the podcast. Let's move right into the bloopers and little sneak peek at what it takes to make a podcast, if I can get the video footage to work. Hey there and welcome to Hey There, the podcast. This is your host, Captain Equine, and today we are going to go over the segments for the second ever episode of the series. So, today we are going to do 3 different segments. First one is Quizators, where a guest comes on to the podcast and answers questions from this month's quiz. The second one is... I never thought of the name. Hey there and welcome to Hey There, the podcast. Hey there and welcome to Hey There. I'm your host, Captain Equine, and I'm recording in a car, so forgive every noise that is not a podcast.